Welcome. So good to see such a good crowd here today. We're pleased to welcome all of you to the 4th annual All Are Alike Unto God Conference. My name is Bryce Cook. I'm a co-director of All Arizona, and I want to extend a special welcome to all who are visiting for the first time. I know we have a number of people who come to these conferences each year, and those of you who are new, we believe this will be a wonderful, enlightening, and spirit-filled event for you. So thank you for coming. We'll begin this conference by singing an opening song, Love One Another. Our chorister is Ryan Glover, and our pianist is Linda Peterson. After that, we'll be favored by an opening prayer by Reed Peterson, and we'll go from there.
We're grateful for this life and for the many opportunities that it provides to us. We're grateful for the many gifts that we have. And pray that that will bless us, that we will be able to utilize those gifts in every loving and righteous way in our lives. We pray that we might be able to show kindness to each other and to all of thy children here on earth. We pray that we might strive to cultivate understanding with those who may not have a full appreciation of this journey. We might not contend with them, but to reach out in the spirit of love and help them to cultivate an awareness of what this journey means for these individuals and what their hopes and dreams are in this life. We're grateful for those who have traveled to be with us here today and for their sacrifice their time and resources, and we pray that we will be uplifted by the messages that they impart to us. We express our gratitude for our Savior Jesus Christ and for His love, and to know of His love for each one of thy children. We pray that we might, in our lives, try to reflect His teachings and His example. We pray for thy Spirit to be with us here today and to enjoy this time together and to develop and strengthen the bonds of fellowship and love that we have within this community. And we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
All right. I'm just going to briefly give a few remarks about sort of the background of All Arizona and why we have this conference and what it all means. First of all, I just need to express much appreciation to all those who have helped put this conference together. This is our 4th year now, and we have so much help and support and time and resources. All the speakers have always come. Those who've come from out of town travel on their own dime. And so we're just really grateful for everyone who contributes. So almost 4 years ago this month is when we started All Arizona. We didn't have a name back then. My oldest son, who's gay, had the idea that he wanted some kind of support group that brought together people who were Mormon and LGBT, so that would give them a place to talk, a safe place where it was not politically charged or charged with misunderstanding and fear. So he began talking with a friend who was a med student at the time, and then my oldest son ended up having to, he took a job with the U.S. State Department and had to move out, so Brian Hendrickson kind of took over, and between my wife and I and Brian Hendrickson, we held a, sound system isn't the greatest today, I apologize, but we started a little group. We met in our house. The first meeting we had about 10 or 12 people. We just sat around the table and ate pizza and talked. And everyone who came through our door got a big hug from both my wife and me. We let them know that this was a Mormon family that absolutely loved them without condition. And that's really the big purpose of all. We decided when we started it that we would not try to take the role of the church. We were not going to try to teach doctrine. We weren't going to try to pass judgment, which is the role of church ecclesiastical leaders. We simply wanted to follow Christ's example to reach out and love, particularly to a group of people who oftentimes have not felt love or felt welcome. So we then did our first conference back in 2013. In fact, our keynote speaker then, Mitch Main, is here with us today. We have our keynote speaker from the second annual conference, Tom Christofferson. He's also here, and I believe Bishop Don Fletcher, who was one of our keynotes last year, is either here or on his way here. All have traveled from out of town, so we're grateful that they and many of the other participants have been able to be with us today. So the objectives of this conference are really twofold. The first is obviously to reach out to our LGBT brothers and sisters and to give them an experience where they can feel the love of the Savior and the unconditional love of fellow members of the church. And then secondly, it's to help our fellow straight members better understand what it's like to be gay and Mormon, and to appreciate many challenges that they face growing up in this church, because it's not easy. And hopefully by gaining greater understanding, we then develop greater empathy and compassion. You know, Elder Kieran in the last General Conference gave a beautiful talk about refugees, and I couldn't help but see so many parallels between a group of people that many misunderstand, it's a politically charged issue that many people fear. And Elder Kieran just said, let's just focus on them as people. And one of the things he said, and I quote, he said, after looking into their eyes and hearing their stories, I will never be the same. And today you're going to have that chance to meet some of our LGBT brothers and sisters and to hear their stories. And if you're like me, you will never be the same. Your mind will be enlightened and your heart will be softened and touched. So with that, I would like to just announce the rest of the program and introduce our first speaker. Ben Shalati is a PhD student attending the University of Arizona, and just arrived here moments ago because the 202 was closed, and so they kind of put a kink in their travel plans. But he was born and raised in Seattle, served a mission in Mexico. He graduated from BYU with a bachelor's and a master's degree, and he's now getting his PhD in linguistics. He's serving as a ward mission leader in his ward down in Tucson, and also works closely with his state president on LGBT issues, doing similar things to what we're doing up here in Mesa and the Valley. And he's become a good friend, and I really highly look up to Ben. He has a great blog. You'll have to ask him about where it's at, because he's a very thoughtful and gifted writer. So with that, I will turn the time over to him, and then we'll go according to the program. After he speaks, we'll be privileged to hear a special number from our all director, Kevin Davis, and then Wendy Montgomery will introduce our two keynote speakers, Barb and Steve Young. Yeah.